Go, Micah, go! Greetings, friends! Whew! It's feeling good outside this morning. And actually today, we're getting a taste of spring. The high is supposed to be in the 50s. And then tomorrow, the 60s. And it's actually sunny today. It feels really, really good. And I'm sorry for those of you who may be jealous living in some areas where it's still cold. But I'm so thankful it's dry now. Whew. This morning is part of our exercise. We went for a run. And we have a pretty long driveway, so we run up and down the driveway for a couple laps. And we usually start off the runs. We start off together, and the kids usually shoot off ahead of me, and I kind of start off like a turtle, just trying to catch my wind, make sure I have a good pace. And it's a good way for us to get our cardio in together. But they shoot off ahead of me, and I just gradually try to catch up, and then hopefully I can take the lead. But I've noticed that each time that we do this, each time that we exercise, I can just see them getting a little better, a little stronger. So gotta keep pushing myself so I don't make it easier for them to catch me one day. But I did take the first place today, so feel good about that. Well, today we got a number of things that we're doing around the homestead. But the major project I'm going to start off with is working on our chickshaw that I have started, well, we plan to remodel. We started just kind of disassembling it a little bit. Josiah helped me with that. And today we're going to actually try to do some construction on it so we can get it finished for some of our future breeder chickens. Oh, and I think they're almost back. There we go, guys. Way to go. You got it, Ty. Nice, Phil. Good job, Luke, man. Micah. Way to go.
We have book
You did great. And Coco, you did great too. You did. Good job. Are you Sailor's trainer? She pushing you? Where's Mommy at? She's coming?
I think so.
Alright.
Okay, we have, what are you talking? Okay, we have boot people, tennis shoe people, and no shoe people.
Yeah. Wild man. Actually, Micah's making his training harder. Adding some extra weight there. So he's going to be even stronger than all of us with his weighted training. You got a cheering crowd. Come on, finish strong. Finish strong. You got some trash along the way?
And recording for my little reels on Instagram.
So she was taking some breaks.
Well, yes.
Pictures.
You did what?
I got some pictures.
You took some pictures too? So you were so fast that you were able to take pictures and come back?
I think I took the video of him. That's what it is.
All right, these are my chickens right here that we are reconstructing the chickshaw, mobile chicken coop, whatever you want to call it for. And they've been really doing a good job of just hanging in there and bearing through just the time of rain, all these days of rain that we had right now. So as you can see here, the ground is really wet. It's wet all over here. And they've been hanging out up here, and we've been giving them straw inside the chicken tractor and just doing whatever we can to help them stay dry. And as you can see, they're pretty dry. So that is good. So right now we need to give them some more feed and water, I believe. Let's see here, so we'll check their feeder right here, which I really like this feeder, by the way. That lid on there keeps it from the food from getting wet, but we can keep it out just about anywhere. And yep, they need some food. And let's see here. Oh, yep. Oh, look at there. Look at all those worms down there. These chickens are making some good soil for us. So with all the manure that the chickens are adding and the leaf compost that we've been adding, as well as before we added just some of the chicken feathers and some of the blood from when we processed the chickens and ducks from before in here, just making really good soil and compost. Hopefully this soil here should be so much better for growing stuff this year. So let's get them some feed, and also need some more water too. Hey Micah, will you fill this up for me?
Yep.
All right, set you up here. There you go. After you get done, spray it off a little bit too, from all the dirt that's got on it, from all the rain splattering, okay?
Okay.
He's always looking for a reason to get wet and even muddy. Hopefully he doesn't get too wet and dirty from filling up that water and cleaning it off. But we'll see. Well, as the chicks, well, they're pretty much pullets now. As they're getting older and getting really close to laying eggs, which they should be at the point where they're laying eggs soon, I'm thinking in the next month or so, and when they do, they start laying little tiny eggs first, and then they gradually get to their normal size eggs that they lay. But as they're going through that process, I'm transitioning them from the grower starter feed, actually it's broiler feed that is a mix from our local meal. As I'm transitioning them off of that feed, I'm gradually weaning them from that, but at the same time adding layer feed gradually more and more, so it'll just be hopefully a smoother transition for them onto the layer feed. Is it all filled up?
Yep.
Alrighty. Thank you, sir. Alrighty.
And that's real.
It looks a lot cleaner than it was. It looks so much better. Way to go, buddy. Thanks for filling it up too. Alright, let's put the lid on and then I'll carry it.
What's in the inside?
Oh man. Cool.
It's like a green color.
Yeah.
It's
Alright.
a green.
There we go.
A black towel and a green towel. That got wet.
You didn't get too wet and muddy, did you? Not too much. Well, they haven't had a shortage of water with all the rain that's been here. Lid off here. That holds the water in while we fill it up. And we just put the lid right back here.
Daddy, what's that Batman? Batman all the way over there.
Batman? Is that the name that you gave that rooster?
Yeah.
That black ocelot there?
Yep.
Batman. That'll be his name then. I think Batman's a good name for him. What about you guys? Let us know in the comment section below. Alright, let's get these people some feed, some more feed.
People. Little people.
Here we go. Come get it. Come get it. It's breakfast time.
Breakfast time. We're Batman.
I don't know where Batman went.
I see Batman.
You see him?
In the kitchen too.
Ah.
Now coming out.
Alrighty, this is what we have here for our chickshaw so far. So we've got it mostly down to the frame, just as taking a lot of the things off the sides, the panels that were on there. So what we're going to be doing is, one, we're going to be changing out these tires here. These are, as you can see, that tire got a hole in it. We're going to go with some 26-inch, I believe, flat free tires. We're also going to be shortening the height of this thing. I want to go with 2.5 feet for the height. That's what Justin Rhodes uses for his mini chickshaw, which I'm kind of doing this based off of. We're going to make it, right now it currently sits at 4 feet wide. We're going to keep it that width, but right now it is more than 8 feet long when you add that. But we're going to take this part off the front here. We'll still have it out, the wood out here, so that way we can have a place to hold on to it. But we're going to end the chickshaw, the inside part where the chickens will be, right here at 5 feet. So the dimensions of this thing will be 4 feet by 5 feet, which will give the chickens 20 square feet of room. And each chicken, per chicken, needs 1 square foot. So I'm thinking I can fit at least 20 chickens in here, and if we can cram them in, maybe 25. So that's the goal. So first thing I'm going to do is go ahead and put me a post here, work on the sides and cutting down the top, and then putting on some of the hardware cloth on the side so no animals can get through the sides. And then from there, I think we're going to put the wheels on. All right, Josiah, can you do me a favor? Can you cut me 2 pieces that are 28 inches, 28.25 inches long?
Sure.
Thanks. This with some of these. Alrighty, so we're making a lot of progress here. Right now Josiah is disassembling this handle that we have had on it. Because once we are reducing the size here, we will have the handle in a different location, which will be somewhere right in here. And we can already notice a big time difference in the weight. Hold on one second, Josiah. It's really so much easier to move around. This was built very, very well, and I think that it would work perfectly for a coop that was just only needed to be moved occasionally. We move our stuff around so often. We need something that is a lot more lighter weight, especially I want the kids to be able to move things around when they need to. And with just changing up the size here and making it lighter in weight, cutting the weight, should help them out tremendously with being able to move it. As well as going with the flat free wheels here. Like this is one of the wheels that we're going to be using. And can't wait to see how it'll look once we're done. So we're making some progress. One of the things that we are going to keep are the nesting boxes that are right here. Just going to make a couple changes on it too. It did have it where you could reach in here to get the eggs, but with the door flapping down, I wasn't a huge fan of that. So I want it to be where you reach up here and get the eggs from up here. So that'll be another change that we make. But we're just going to keep plugging away. Doing a great job, Josiah.
Thanks.
Oh, it's garbage day, isn't it, Josiah?
Yep.
All right, we're pressing on with progress.
Yep.
We're at the point now, though, where it's break time. We need to take a break. Need to get some lunch. I need to be fed. I'm sure you're a grown boy, so you're ready to eat some food too.
Yep.
One of the things, though, we need to put some weight here in the front because with changing the way that we have and the distribution of it and the way that the old wheels are on there, what happens, Josiah, when you stand up? Does that. So I am going to be sliding the wheel back of the placement of the wheel. So once we get rid of that wheel, we're going to put this wheel on further back, and that should bounce out so it's not tipping over like that. But in the meantime, we'll put some weight down here, or we'll just let it sit up. Actually, it'll be fine just sitting up like that, Josiah. Let's go get some lunch. What are you doing? Get your schoolwork done?
Yeah.
All right. Ooh, it's a little toasty in here. Got it steamy in here, Sailor. With it warm outside, and I think we were burning the fire last night, as well as we had the meat put on. Gotta get it turned down. How things coming along in here?
They're coming along.
Got video edited, next video coming up.
I'm working on it.
There we go. Well, we're making some pretty good progress outside. Still got some ways to go, but we're getting the project done. We're getting some good bonding time in, and he's getting some homeschool math in, so he can do a check on his checklist today for math.
Check, check, check.
He's measuring and helping out. So we're gonna eat some lunch and then get back to it. And then we can do our big reveal and show you what the new chickshaw looks like.
Okay.
So I was kidding with Sayla about having it being steamy in here. It is warm in here, but got some lunch going, looks like, there for us.
Yep.
Having some leftover hamburgers maybe?
Yep.
That sounds fantastic. Thank you for doing that.
You're welcome.
Alrighty, just got finished with lunch. Sayla warmed up hamburgers from leftovers from last night that Lacie made it from some grass-fed beef. They were just delicious. And leftovers are something we have on a regular basis. What about you guys? Do you do leftovers? I've heard some people don't do leftovers, and I'm like, as a homesteader and somebody who just is resourceful and constantly just making sure you make the most out of what you have, I'm like, you don't do leftovers. What? So we do leftovers almost every day. Lacie usually makes enough at dinner time for us to have some extra the next day. Well, it's back to work on the chickshaw, and I had to go down to a short sleeve shirt because it's so nice out here. And it's just after lunch, and we're at 60 degrees now, and it's fantastic. This is a lot better than what we've been having here recently. I see the blue sky. It's like, whoa, I didn't even know the blue sky still existed, and this big glowing thing in the sky. It's like, woo, I'm loving it. So sorry for those of you who still may be experiencing some colder temperatures, but today is really, really nice, and I'm digging it. I'm loving it, just giving that taste of spring, as I mentioned earlier. Well, what we're gonna do next on the chickshaw is I'm gonna go ahead and put hardware cloth on the opposite side as well as the wood paneling. And I really like the wood paneling with the chrome flat free wheels. It really just kind of pops. At least that's how I feel about it. So we're gonna put that on, secure some things on top of it, but actually not put the roof on quite yet. Turn it on its side and then put the wheels on. And hopefully we can get this done today. I'm ready. All right, we didn't do it in the exact order that I just mentioned. We went ahead and worked on securing the top as well as the perimeter so we could set it on its side. And the reason I didn't go ahead and put the side on the other side is, look here. There's just so much manure in here, and we need to get that out before we put the sides on. So we figured if we're tipping it over, we could just hit it from the bottom and it just come right out. One of the things that I have done in the past, and I'm going to start doing now, especially after seeing this, is I like to put cardboard down on top of the hardware cloth and let the chickens put the manure on the cardboard. So that way I can just easily take it out and they're not having to be a mess like this where I'm having to do a scrub down of the chicken tractor. I guess you could also go with some thicker or some bigger squares on the hardware cloth, but then you have increased chances of things like snakes and things getting in there. So we're gonna stick with this side for now, but we gotta knock all that stuff out. So go ahead and get the hammer and just knock it out, Sayla. Alrighty, so as Sayla's banging away at knocking the chicken poop off here, not chicken poof, I'm gonna go ahead and start taking off the old wheels and start setting up for the new wheels. One of the things that I'm gonna be doing different than Justin Rhodes' plan is he uses the threaded rods, which I'm gonna be using, but he puts a metal strapping over it that kind of goes just like that. Instead of that, what I'm gonna do, since we're not short on wood here, is I'm gonna actually drill a hole through the wood and use that in place of the strapping to hold the rods in place. So let's get done. Well, it turns out that we were not able to finish our chicken coop remodel all in one day. So we came back to it the next day. But one of the things that I really like about projects like this around the homestead is it gives us opportunities to work together to accomplish a task. And on the second day of our remodel, we were able to finish the chicken coop. Well, at least mostly. There's still a few minor things I want to come back and tweak. I want to think about it a little bit more before I do it. But anyways, it's ready for the chickens to move in. And with the remodel, we were able to reduce the weight quite significantly. And here is a pile of just the excess wood that we removed from the chicken coop. And before we moved it over to the chickens, I added some cardboard in the inside so that way they can drop their manure on, as well as we put this little plate on the back that tells the chickens that home is where the flock is. And each of us had a chance to test out the chicken coop to see how well we can move it. Lacie was able to move it with no problem. Sayla, with being 10 years old, could also easily move it. Even Josiah, who's 8. And Micah too, with being 4 years old, could even move the chicken coop. However, he did need a little bit of help. And finally, we moved the chicken coop over to the chickens and introduced them to their new home. Some of them went in right away, but some of them we had to pick them up and actually put them in to introduce them and say, hey, this is where you're supposed to be. So they have a new home. So we left them in overnight. I woke up this morning just past the sun rising, and it was a beautiful sunrise, by the way. Came out here, heard the roosters crowing, and saw them enjoying their new home as they're continuing to do right now. And I'm so glad that we got this done because I wanted to get them off the ground, especially with rain coming again tomorrow. I wanted them to have a home that could keep them dry off the ground, and it's warm and cozy. And it's so nice to see them enjoying it. And I do want to mention that the original build of this chicken coop was fantastic. It was done really, really well. Really quality work by our friend Brent, who makes chicken coops as part of a business that he has. And he does excellent work. And this coop was a blessing and has been a blessing for our family and our chickens for a couple of years now. However, there were just a few modifications that I wanted to make on it to fit the context of our property, with our property being a slope, and I need something that can maneuver easy, as well as have flat free tires, and something that all of us could move without a problem. And I'm really happy about this, and encourage you guys, encourage Brent too, to make something similar if you have tight spaces. With it being 4 feet wide, it's a lot easier for us to move around really easy, and I really like it. So actually look forward to making another one just like it, because we're going to try to increase our flocks this year. Hope you guys are too, and just stay tuned to see how the chickens keep enjoying their new home. See you next time.